Anyway, I was just talking. I'm talking about when Rox Zone first got together. Rox Zone. By the way, this is the Steering Wheel Commentator coming at you today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Feel free to share it. But anyway, when Rox Zone first got together back in, oh gosh, this was going to be 88, 89. We had a friend of ours. He was a friend of a friend. Came in. Jeff Wright was our bass player, and Jeff played with us for a while. And he had a wreck. Him and our drummer Dale Riker, they had a wreck up the road while we were practicing. Just on a run to the store, had a wreck. Jeff got cut pretty bad on his arm, and I don't know I can't remember what all happened with that. Jeff, you see this, you might chime in. Maybe Johnny Holland knows. But anyway, we ended up, Jeff left, and then we had Gerald House. And Gerald House played bass with us for a while. But, I mean, truthfully, I'm going to be honest with you. Gerald was a gigging musician when he came in. I was learning to play guitar, seriously learning to play guitar. And Gerald House was like, he had been a gigging musician. So, I pretty much knew Gerald was a good friend of mine, and I pretty much knew that Gerald probably wasn't going to stick with us. He was probably going to move on and start earning some money playing with somebody. And I think that's what he ended up doing. Anyway, me and Billy Ray, me and him were both, Billy Ray Sneed, the guitar player in Rox Zone. Me and him both were in the furniture industry, and I'm still in it. But where I worked was at Fulton at Crestline. Billy Ray worked at Townhouse Penthouse in Amory, and we both would get off early, usually on Fridays. So we would meet somewhere. We were recreational eaters, so we would meet somewhere and eat lunch a lot of times, on Fridays. Well, one of the places that we would eat at was a place called Papa's in Amory. And Papa was this Greek guy that he had pizza, and he had a little buffet. We'd go there and eat. Well, Papa come to us one day while we were eating there, and he had an idea for a teen club. They was going to put in video games, have some live music, probably sell refreshments, snacks, and stuff like that. And the building that he was planning on possibly having it in was the old theater building on Main Street there in Amory, which was almost across the road from Papa's Pizza, or Papa's. So when he was talking to us about it, he said, he gave us the key, and he said, y'all go over and look at it, check it out, and see what y'all think about that building, see if it'll work. Well, at some point in the past before that, the old theater building, the front of it was a music store. Somebody had a music store in there. And, there was some pamphlets and flyers, and there was some other stuff laying around there. It was me and Billy Ray. We were just in there looking around. And Billy Ray looks down. I can't remember I think it was Billy Ray looked down on the floor there, or on the wall. I can't remember which. But it was bass player looking for band. And it had the phone number. So Billy Ray picks it up, and we call him. And I'm pretty sure Billy Ray's the one that called him. Maybe I did. I don't know. Billy Ray may remember better than me. I think Billy Ray called him. So anyway, Billy Ray calls him, and which turned out to be our future bass player, Mike Long. And Mike was one of those people that his character was bigger than life. He was a guy, look, let me tell you something about Mike Long. He was a guy that if you ever met him, you would always remember meeting him. He's not a guy that you just forgot about knowing. You always remembered Mike Long. He'd always make an impression on you, and it was usually always good. Anyway, I'll never forget the first time I met him. We were practicing. Me and Dale and Billy Ray were practicing there at my mother and daddy's house. I had a really nice 2-car garage size room that we were practicing in, and Mike comes pulling up, and he comes to the sliding glass door, and he goes, "Hey guys, how's it going?" He comes in, he's got his little cooler, he's got his insulated mug, and he comes in talking to us, man, he's laughing and stuff, and he sets his little cooler thing up there. Well, at that point, he would indulge some, I'll put it that way. So he always had his little kid he carried with him, and he was a hoot. I'm telling you, he was just a hoot. And he goes back and gets his bass guitar, and he comes in and he opens it up, and it's a Gretsch guitar. And you don't see a lot of Gretches. And anyway, it's like a wood grain Gretsch, really nice guitar. I'm sure one of his sons still has it. Probably, I think Terry may have it. I'm not sure. Anyway, he comes whooping that Gretsch out. He plugs in, and he just fell right in with us. We love to argue around with each other, and pick on each other and stuff. And he fit right in. We practiced a few shows. Next thing you know, we're playing some shows. Next thing you know, we're playing a railroad festival. We play some others, and me and Lori, I ended up, not long after that, I ended up playing in some other bands, and then while I was playing in another band, I still played in Rox Zone as well, but as I was playing in some other bands, I ended up meeting Lori. And when I met Lori, me and her decided to get married, and I quit Rox Zone. I quit Rox Zone. I quit playing for about a year. And then we had a reunion. We got back together. It was like 92, late 92, something like that. Me and Lori got married in 91, so it was like late 92, maybe early 93. We got back together. I have a VHS of that first practice back together. It was in October. It was on my birthday, or the weekend of my birthday. I don't know if it was exactly my birthday or not, but it was the weekend of my birthday. And I have video of that, and Mike was just a hoot. He was just a hoot. And the next thing you know, like at 90, I think it was 94, we went into the studio over at Statue Records, used to be over there from Crosstown, and we went in and we recorded a cassette. If y'all don't remember what that is, it's a small little recording. Anyway, we recorded our cassette, and I have video of us in the studio. And another highlight from that moment that I'll never forget was the man that came and spent the day with us in the studio one Saturday was the Jimmy Johnson from Muscle Shoals Studio. Jimmy Johnson himself, we're talking about the original Swamper, came and stayed in the studio with us all day. The whole day we were in there. He sat in the control room and talked to us. I got his autograph. Man, he was telling stories, giving us a pamphlet of a guitar, a telly he had coming out called the Swamper. I don't know if they ever come out or not, but those memories of some of the stuff, and I have recordings like us talking and some of the comments in the studio and stuff. And I just wanted to tell that because Mike's no longer with us. He passed away years later, and due to cancer, throat cancer, lung cancer, throat cancer, esophageal cancer, something like that. And once he found out, he didn't live very long after he found out that he had it, and it was just a sudden thing. But it goes to tell you that always, the things, when you look back on things that you've done and things you participated in, You know, most of the time when it's something you enjoyed, pretty much all you remember about that is the good parts. And that's why I remember Mike so much. Mike was one of the good parts. Not to say that everybody was a good part. But when they've passed and gone, you realize how much of a good part they really were. This is the Steering Wheel Commentator.